There's the timber shed. And it shows three Admiral's Row buildings, but by 1879 it was more complete. This one, 1865, and it doesn't show the Admiral's Row or the development at all, which by 1865 was 3/4 complete. And this one, Admiral's Row would be in here. This one doesn't. It's after the bridge, which was 1883, but this map doesn't show it. I don't see it. Oh, there. Is this it? Yes, this is it. Yeah, here's the timber sheds. 2 timber sheds, Sand Street. And here's the Admiral's Row property. But it's hard to see the buildings there, but it should be. Okay, let's see. This is the backside of Building I. It was built in somewhere in the early 1880s, and the building proper ends just behind that screen door. That is 19th century edition, and it's quite exciting to be here. And these outbuildings, I believe, were built in the 50s, but they could have been built a little earlier, maybe during the World War II. Who's the British guy that goes time traveling?
Doctor Who?
Yeah, isn't that his phone booth?
No.
Or do you have a British one?
A British one.
This is the backs of E, F, and G, or mostly saplings and some full-grown trees. Again, what you can see through there is mostly 20th century buildings, which have withstood the test of time much more poorly than the 19th century buildings. The final report, the Stearns report, gave 8 of the 10 building mansions in Admiral's Row very high structural marks for their preservation. When they ask about the contaminated aspect of the site,
yeah,
these 2 buildings are to be torn down because of PCB contamination, and apparently the Navy used these buildings for their storage, and they were originally used as, I guess, a shower house for the officers who played tennis. Now this one's got to be Building D, and this one was built roughly 1851, and it was the third building of Admiral's Row. They went by alphabetical designation. Building A was the Commandant's mansion up on the hill, which was 1806, and this was the third one built on the row. And at the time there was still remnants of the mill pond.
Is this one of the ones they were going to, is this the one, which is the one they were going to keep?
The next one.
The next one.
This, I mean, they should keep all of them, of course. But, you know, it's quite awesome just to be standing in here and know that that was the parade ground. But we're on Park Street. This still is Park Street, huh? It is a park. Is the Yard Commander's Review. They brought all the troops down here and had them run past the, you know, the rose garden and the trellis, and
they all do well.
Grateful for the tour. It's awesome being here.
This isn't. You don't want to pay this over.
This isn't.
Think about it.
This isn't available to look at over in.
Nah, this is all the fed. What the feds.
Okay. It's the trellised walkway, or what's left of it. And as you can see, the 20th century part of the building is almost in complete collapse, whereas the 19th century is fairly high integrity. And there was, of course, the porch in the back that was part of the 20th century, I believe, just by the nature of the holes for the roof of the porch. On building B, you can see the extension to the side that has completely fallen away. And the whitewash came in the early 1900s. It certainly is just a whitewash. I thought it was stucco, but it's a whitewash. See on the uppermost window, just below where the cornice would be, it had brownstone detailing. So it was a red brick building with the brownstone detail. It looks as though they've cleaned up some of the cornice which has fallen, but see, there's a piece of the cornice. Looks like it was insulated. That would be a piece of the original cornice. And this building is 1848. The reason I say that was the original cornice is because it's made out of wood. They did replace, I think on the next building, they replaced a cornice in the early 1900s. And the replacement cornice was tin. You can see there again the brownstone lintel on that window, so presumably all the detailing in this one is brick and brownstone. Brick trimmed with brownstone. Except for the sill, which is bluestone. Again, you have the brownstone detailing showing on the back facade. And you can notice at the top the cornice is a full cornice, not typical of the back of a building. these buildings had dual front facades. Sort of the front facade facing Flushing Avenue at the beginning, before the rest of the mill pond was filled in. The entrance would probably have been off Flushing Avenue, but after the row had been completed, or Flushing Avenue had been completed,
this presumably would have been the Admiral of the Fleet's house.
This is the commander of the yard.
The commander of the yard's house.
This is the top dog in the yard. Each building had a separate function. You had the paymaster, the shipbuilder, you had ordnance, you had, I don't know, there were 10 different functions. And I haven't found out all of them yet, but it's one of the things that needs to be done, because it is history that can't be reproduced.
What was the structure here for?
This was a covered walkway to sort of a semicircular review for you know, the pomp and circumstance of the Navy. They had military.
And so the parade ground was over there.
And the parade ground is across Park Avenue. And it's the artist William Merritt Chase, right? Do you know him?
No.
Okay, well, I believe one of his paintings, he did paintings in the Navy Yard, and one of his paintings was of a girl, looked like a girl skipping down Park Street, which is this street right here. Now, this next one is C, or H and C. This is the way in. This one is K and L. Comes with a free range. And over there behind those trees, next to the flagpole, is Building J, which was a freestanding home built at the same time as or within the time frame of Admiral's Row, because it was designated Building J, and if you go the alphabet, it's J, K, L. So K is after, and so the last building to be built in the row was built after the mansion that was there. And
is that one gone, or is it there?
No, it's in various state of decay, and New York State SHPO has said it has no historic or architectural significance. Now you can see the collapse in here. Now this is an interesting building here, because originally it went all the way down to that street.
It's one of those ones we saw on the map earlier.
Yeah, the long buildings.
Yeah.
And there's enough room in there to take care of the supermarket retail. And it's you can, I don't know if you can see in here. I'm sure there's a door down the way you can look in, but the first floor ceiling level is just under here, and then you have the clear story, and then above that I don't know if there's an attic or not. They call it But these bricks should go back to 1838.
Yeah, that's like, it feels like it's going to come alive in a moment.
Oh yeah, that's the hinge for the iron gate. Actually wooden. You can see it here.
Oh, the ones that close on? Yeah.
Up there.
Oh.
This one had it. It's like the one over there.
Okay.
Say again?
The wooden shuttered doors. You still have the two upper ones that are complete. That one's complete. This one had it. And if they're willing to develop, they'll develop under any criteria. Whatever is they're told is being saved, they have to develop it. They're interested.
Right.
It's a big development project. There's money to be made here. So all we have to do is keep the row as a row. There's no reason for it to be torn down. There's plenty of land. It belongs to Brooklyn. It belongs to New York City. It belongs to the state, and it's a national treasure.
They'd leave those and tar this all over.
Well, you know, that might be a sad compromise. I'm not compromising. I'm holding the hard line, but whoever thought it would get this far? And I'll maintain the preservationist attitude if no one else will.